Silverlight streaming. What we're going to talk about is quickly was walk through sort of what is Silverlight streaming, steps to use it, and some frequently asked questions, and then references of where to find information. The first thing to note is that Silverlight streaming is not Silverlight. It's a separate service that is used to distribute Silverlight applications. So if you're out there building Silverlight applications today, or if you just have other sort of rich media like videos that you want to deliver on a worldwide scale without having to worry about geoscaling your infrastructure, low latency, because you happen to have your website in one country and your customers are distributed in a number of countries around the world. Silverlight streaming service is designed to help users get over that sort of hurdle. We've built out a partnership with content development networks across the world so that we can make it easy for you to deliver and scale your rich media and your Silverlight applications. One of the other goals of this was also to make sure that it is cross-platform. It works across Windows, Linux, and Macintosh the same way Silverlight does, and still provide you with complete control of the end-user experience. It is a free service. The asterisk is there basically because it's currently in beta. It is completely free while it's in beta with some fairly generous caps on bandwidth and other such things. Once it goes into live production, there will be some advertising, revenue sharing options, as well as probably a fee-based ad-free version of the service. So these are just some of the examples that are available out on the web, out on the web today. Now, some of them are fairly flashy, like Halo 3 trailers that came out. Quicksilver Pro France Live, let me pull that one up. That's a application from Quicksilver, which is a surfing company. This is a Flash application which is hosted in Silverlight streaming. And they've got a fairly nice interface here. You can see, and I can load up a number of videos. Let me say, pull a surfing video that's running up. They have the current scores for the various people. Got that running up, video, and I can search through other particular clips that they've got going, along with scrolls of things and that sort of thing. So this is kind of example of something you might build with Silverlight that you might not want to be able to host all of this content yourself because of storage, because of bandwidth issues, because of latency across the world, whatever it happens to be. And that's where Silverlight streaming comes into play. You might also use it just for doing something like hosting a small video. If it's just a small piece of your website, if you're not fully Silverlight across everything, then this is an example. This is a quick app, which all the code for this particular application is available up on codeplex.com if you look for the Windows Live Quick Apps. And this application is for the Contessa Bicycle Club. This is a group of guys who get around and they like to go biking, they like to share their rides, they like to share photos from the rides, and that sort of thing. This is one of the examples, is the London ride, which they've got virtual earth where they're showing where the ride goes. And what we've got is a bike cam, which is being streamed off of Silverlight.com, Silverlight streaming. So you can see on the right is the video streaming out, but that's not all. This is standard HTML, and they just have this is the Silverlight portion right here. And the interesting thing here is that they have this synchronized also with the map, so that you can see where the rider is currently, and the Silverlight application is running up here, and eventually he will move along whenever the biker gets to a certain point, then he'll move along the map, and so they keep those in sync. You stop that and go back. So that's just sort of a couple of different ways. You might have your entire Silverlight application in it. You might just have some media streaming coming out of it, something like that. So Silverlight streaming is very easy to use. If you're trying to get your rich media up there and going, there's 5 simple steps. The first 2 are fairly straightforward. You need to create a Silverlight streaming account. which if you have Windows Live ID, then you can go do that. Then you need to create your Silverlight application, whether it's a 1.0 application or a 2.0 application. Since the Silverlight 2.0 is still in beta, the Silverlight streaming service tends to lag behind updates of the beta, usually a few weeks to a month or so is what it has been. Currently, there currently has Silverlight 2.0 Beta 1, which is Beta 2 has already come out, but there'll be a new release which allows for Silverlight streaming Beta 2 to be running, Silverlight Beta 2 to be running out of Silverlight streaming. But basically, if you have a 1.0, you need to take your application, your standard Silverlight application, make a minor modification to load the proper Silverlight JavaScript files, then package all that up in a zip file. If you have a 2.0 application, then you just take the ZAP file that it builds and upload that to Silverlight streaming. Once you get your package up into Silverlight streaming, you just need to modify your web page to play back your app from Silverlight streaming instead of from your own application. So, first step, create a Silverlight streaming account. That's very simple from the administrative website, which is silverlight.live.com. You log in with your Windows Live ID, and then you get assigned a unique account ID and a key. So, for example, with my sample account here, I've already created an account, which you go in and basically just accept the agreement, and you step in, and I'm at the administration home. Then in my manage my account, you'll see that here is the account information, and I've been granted an account ID and an account key. The account ID is basically my username for the system. So you'll see that pop up several times when we look at what the URLs are to reference my applications within the Silverlight streaming service. The account key is more like the password to the system. So I will use that if I'm going to programmatically access it through some of the web APIs to get access directly to my files if I'm not going through the website. And if I need to, if I lose my key, or not if I lose it, but if I accidentally get my key divulged, for example in this video, then at the end I can just come in here and say regenerate new key, and I get a new unique. As well as if you had a bad manifest file and uploaded it, it would cause an error and you wouldn't be able to upload the file. Now if you upload it and you create edit, it'll drop you into this this particular UI, and you'll be able to create your manifest file straight from here. So you can see here this is a version 1 application. Here's the XAML file within the zip that I uploaded, and a couple other parameters around whether it's windowless, what's the frame rate, how big it's going to be in the UI, and that sort of thing. Now, if you're going to do video sharing, one of the easiest ways to do that, if you want to control sort of what the playback buttons and those sort of things look like, is to use the expression encoder. There's a 60-day trial available up on Microsoft.com. You can download that, try it out. Basically, it's a very simple to use video encoding tool. You can set up marks, labels points in the video, do some basic editing in it, and then encode it to a WMV BC1 standard video file. And Expression Encoder also includes a number of templates which are Silverlight UIs for doing fast forward, play, pause, and all the sort of standard transport controls you would see on a video. Now the nice thing about that is that you get a straight off, you get to pick what it looks like immediately, and then it'll generate the project.
Today we're going to build a Silverlight 2 Beta 2 application and then upload it to the Silverlight
it also
streaming
will
website.
build your, if you use Expression Encoder, then you still need to build your manifest
we have
now,
some instructions in
Encoder,
MSDN on how to build a simple
there's
Hello
also
World
a
2.0
plugin, which we'll
application.
talk about in a minute, which create that, and then it's going to tell me, okay, go pick the zip file and upload it. Once that gets done, then it'll show up in my list of managed applications alongside these other ones. Now, there's also the REST API and the WebDev APIs, both of which are documented on MSDN on how to access those directly. But ultimately, those are HTTP endpoints, which you can use as long as you provide the account name and account key so that you can get authenticated properly, which will allow you to browse and update your Silverlight streaming content directly through directly through the web interfaces. That way, you don't always have to come to the admin side if you want to build an admin tool to run